He called Cardi's new baby a bastard. I was like,
Oh.
I don't know why. How is it a bastard though? He was like, because if the babies aren't mine, that's a bastard. I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, so what? You want the baby to be yours? He was like, yeah, because Kulture don't the baby. He was like, yeah, like she just be side-eyeing the baby or whatever, and the nanny be telling me all this. Like, mind you, this is breaking news now. Cardi has a restraining order on Offset. So he gets not allowed to talk to the babies at all. He's been FaceTiming Kulture through his other daughter this whole time and talking to Kulture or whatever. And I guess Kulture's been saying like she hasn't even...
Let me start here, because this is bigger than one messy situation. We live in a time where fame has replaced wisdom, access has replaced discernment, and clout has replaced common sense. People keep thinking they can play with fire, flirt with chaos, and somehow walk away unburned. And every single time, the same lesson shows up wearing a different outfit. Damn, damn, damn. Because once again, it's gossip culture back at it again, and today's headline is wild. Celina Powell is publicly calling for Offset to go to jail, telling the internet to call the police, claiming he threatened her life over money she says he owes her. And if that wasn't enough, she's now alleging she has video proof of Offset attempting to set up Stefon Diggs to get hurt. Yes, you heard that correctly. Allegedly. Caught in 4K? We'll get into it. Here's what we know so far, without the noise and without the sugarcoating. Over the past 24 to 48 hours, Celina Powell took to social media and began making a series of explosive claims aimed directly at Offset. According to her, there's a financial dispute between them, and she alleges that Offset has been threatening her life because of it. She did not provide full documentation publicly at first, but she was loud, insistent, and deliberate in telling people to contact law enforcement. That alone raised eyebrows because this wasn't framed as a vague rant. This was framed as, I am in danger, allegedly. But wait, there's more, because Celina didn't stop at personal threats. She escalated the situation by claiming she has video evidence that Offset attempted to orchestrate harm against Stefon Diggs. Again, alleged. No court filings have been made public at this time. No law enforcement confirmation has been released. But the internet froze for a moment because now this wasn't just a messy clout dispute. This was a claim that dragged in another high-profile name, one who is already connected to Cardi B and already surrounded by controversy. And that's when people started asking the real question. Why do celebrities keep dealing with Celina Powell knowing exactly how this always ends? This is not a mystery woman. This is not an unknown quantity. Her entire brand, her entire reputation, her entire digital footprint is built on exposing, embarrassing, and detonating the private lives of famous men. This is not new behavior. This is not a shock. This is a pattern. And at some point, we have to stop pretending these situations are unexpected. Let's talk accountability, because that's where this conversation gets uncomfortable. If you are a high-profile man with money, lawyers, PR teams, and access to discretion, and you still choose to engage with someone whose history is public record, that is not bad luck. That is poor judgment. That is ego. That is thinking you're smarter than the pattern. And every time, the pattern wins. Every single time. Because the moment things go left, the same playbook comes out. Screenshots, recordings, allegations, public pressure, and social media trials. Now let's zoom in on the threat allegation itself. When someone publicly claims their life is being threatened and urges people to call the police, that crosses a line from gossip into potential legal territory. Even if everything is alleged, that kind of statement forces attention, it forces documentation, it forces response. And if nothing comes of it, it still leaves damage behind. Reputation damage, career damage, legal expenses, stress. This is not internet beef anymore. This is the kind of thing lawyers start circling. And the Stefon Diggs angle, that's where things get even messier. Because now you're talking about alleged third-party harm, alleged coordination, alleged intent. That's the type of claim that if proven false can backfire badly. But if proven true, that's catastrophic, and that's why people are watching closely to see whether any actual evidence surfaces or whether this stays in the realm of social media warfare. Right now, it's all alleged, but the implications are heavy. Here's the psychoanalysis part nobody wants to hear. There is a subset of celebrity culture that thrives on chaos because chaos feels exciting, stability feels boring, boundaries feel restrictive, and so people keep clapping cheeks with danger, thinking they can control it. But chaos doesn't care about your fame. Chaos doesn't care about your legacy. Chaos will embarrass you publicly and sleep just fine afterward. That's the lesson that keeps repeating. And this ties into a broader cultural issue. We keep rewarding dysfunction with attention. We keep amplifying the mess instead of questioning why powerful people keep making self-destructive choices. We talk about growth, maturity, and accountability, but then we act shocked when the same cycles repeat. This is not just about Celina Powell. This is about a culture that confuses access with entitlement and attention with power. So now I want to hear from you. Do you think this situation goes anywhere legally, or is this another internet explosion that fizzles out once the attention shifts? And more importantly, why do you think celebrities keep walking into the same trap over and over again? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because one thing is clear. When you play stupid games in public, you don't get private consequences. And with that said, it's gossip culture back at it again. Let's pick up right where the tension thickens, because this story doesn't cool off, it spirals. After Celina Powell went public with those allegations, the internet did what it always does. It split into camps. One side immediately said, "Here she go again," pointing to her long, documented history of messy entanglements and public callouts. The other side said, "Hold on, why would she escalate this far if there was nothing there?" And that's the uncomfortable space where Offset now finds himself. Not proven guilty, not cleared either, just suspended in allegation limbo, which is the worst place for any celebrity brand to be. Behind the scenes, fans believe Offset's silence is calculated, not accidental. No immediate denial, no emotional rant, no Instagram live trying to laugh it off. And that silence is loud. In PR terms, silence usually means one of three things. Lawyers are involved, negotiations are happening, or someone is trying to figure out what evidence might actually exist. Because if there truly is video, even if it's selectively edited, it becomes a narrative weapon. And in today's culture, perception travels faster than truth. But wait, there's more. The Stefon Diggs angle has now dragged in a whole different audience that wasn't even paying attention to Celina Powell before. Sports fans, NFL media pages, and crossover blogs are now watching closely because Diggs' name carries a different kind of weight. An allegation involving potential harm isn't just messy, that's career-threatening. Even being loosely connected to something like that can raise flags with teams, sponsors, and league offices. Alleged or not, the damage doesn't wait for a verdict. Now, let me cook for a second, because this is where the pattern becomes undeniable. Celina Powell does not move like someone looking for peace. She moves like someone who understands leverage. The moment she feels disrespected, unpaid, or dismissed, the escalation button gets smashed. Screenshots become currency. Voice notes become insurance. Videos become nuclear options. And yet, men with resources still walk into the situation thinking they'll be the exception. That's not confidence, that's delusion. Offset specifically has been here before in different forms: public drama, legal whispers, relationship chaos, and now another alleged crisis overlapping with everything else already swirling around him. Fans are asking whether this is a man overwhelmed by consequences finally stacking up, or a man who never adjusted his behavior after multiple warning shots. Because at some point, the excuse of "people targeting me" stops working when the common denominator is you. Zooming out, this situation says a lot about celebrity masculinity and accountability. Too many famous men rely on power, money, and silence instead of boundaries and discipline. They assume problems can be paid off, scared off, or brushed off. But the digital age doesn't forget. Receipts don't expire. And women like Celina Powell have built entire careers on reminding the world of that fact. Like it or not, she is a symptom of a culture that enables recklessness business and then acts shocked when the bill comes due. There's also a community lesson here that people don't want to touch. We keep glamorizing access to celebrities without talking about the emotional and psychological damage that comes from transactional relationships. Everybody is using everybody. Nobody is honest. And when the illusion cracks, it turns ugly fast. This isn't about love, loyalty, or respect. This is about power struggles disguised as intimacy. Now, let's be very clear, because I don't deal in fairy tales. Everything in this situation remains alleged. No verified police report has been made public, no confirmed video has been released, no court has weighed in. But reputations don't wait for paperwork. The internet doesn't wait for due process, and Offset's name being attached to this, fairly or unfairly, is already enough to keep this story alive. And that brings us back to the question people keep asking in disbelief, even though they already know the answer. Why do celebrities keep dealing with Celina Powell knowing exactly how this always ends? The answer is ego, the belief that rules don't apply to them, the belief that money equals control, and every time, that belief gets exposed in public, loud and messy. So I'll end it like this. If you're famous and powerful, discernment is not optional, it's survival. And if you keep ignoring patterns, don't act surprised when history repeats itself with a megaphone. I want to know what you think. Is this another situation that fades out, or is this the one that finally crosses into real legal consequences? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what happens next. With that said,